Hey guys, this is Kevin checking in after a very, very long time. I decided to maybe give making videos a go again after a while here. I've had a couple of things change with fitness and diet and exercise and health and all that stuff that I want to just kind of move forward and keep myself accountable. And I think this might be a way to go ahead and start doing that again. Um, Over the last year and about a half, um, I had gotten to my about a year and a half ago. I had gotten to like kind of my highest weight. I was kind of done, couldn't figure out what to do. So I ended up kind of defaulting to using one of those GLP-1 agonists. I started initially with Saxenda. It was December of, I guess, 23. That stuff, after I got to, I think, like this third tier in dosage, and don't quote me on the dosage, maybe 12 or something, if I remember correctly. You took it daily. I can't remember the exact. I think it was like the initial dose was fine. The second and the third, I think, was fine. Once I moved to that fourth, it made me so sick. I couldn't. So then I backed off to the lower dose, sat there for a little while, and then moved back up. I was just miserable that whole month of December. So I backed off and looked for something new. I ended up moving over to Zepbound in January 2004. Went through that, took that for basically a entire year and like 3 months. I got up to the 12.5 dose over the course, and I did really well on it. I got all the way down to, I started around 275, I'll say, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I had gotten all the way down. My lowest I got down to was about 212, but I was really kind of floating around two, like two high teens, so 217 to 220, somewhere in that neighborhood. I would float there for a little while. And then what had happened was in April, took a trip with my son to Germany. I decided I was not going to take the medicine while I was on the trip, and I had stopped it about a week before we went. So I was off of it for about 3 or so weeks. And when I came back from the trip, I decided I was going to like kind of back off completely and see how I was going to do. Of course, I wasn't necessarily good or strict on diet. But I ended up moving or going up to around upper 220s to 230, and right, like almost right away, within a month I jumped up that about 10 pounds, and then I decided to jump back on the damn stuff, starting at the bottom 2.5, went for that month, did a month of 5.0, did a month of 7.5, and then I did 2 months of 10 in that cycle. So now we're in August at this point. I just got tired of feeling miserable. I was like miserable, had no energy, and I just didn't want to sit on the medication. I'm scared that I'm going to gain all the weight back, but I'm trying to get things in place so that that doesn't happen. I've been tracking calories. I started doing that like sometime last week. Been just watching what I'm eating, and then I started to do exercise. The good thing is now that I'm on the medication, I have the energy to go out and do exercise. When I was on the medication, I had no like extra energy. I was just kind of just flat all the time. I did things here and there, but it was just nothing. I wasn't motivated to do anything. The medicine didn't make me do anything. I lost weight without actually putting any effort in, and I guess it's just not a fit for me. I mean, the only reason I really went on the medication was for losing weight. I didn't really have, thankfully, any medical conditions that forced me to go onto it. I was like borderline, maybe like I guess pre-diabetic, but I don't even know if that's really necessarily a term. I was like kind of skating on the edge of like kind of that high blood sugar thing, but never really got diagnosed, or was really never got like kind of teetered into that point. So the medicine was great. I think it's great for a lot of people. I think it works well. It's just not for me. So I need to do something different. So like I said, I'm kind of gonna vlog and track my progress. I'm gonna try and do it as much as I can. Hopefully I can do daily. I don't see why I can't at least pop in and make a quick little video. I mean, I'm just going to use the phone and do unedited, here it is, videos. I do have some stuff that I want to edit and put up from a couple of trips I did, so I may take some time to do that. But as far as this journey and get myself on track, this is what I'm going to do. I went and read through Body for Life book, the book by Bill Phillips. I had done that plan long time ago, like early 2000s. I kind of like the way it's laid out. It gives you kind of like at least guidelines to kind of go through, and kind of an exercise program. Doing essentially, you do 6 days on, 1 day off, and you cycle between upper body cardio, lower body cardio, upper body. You know, it's like that. You take your 1 day off on Sunday. You're allowed to eat whatever you want on the Sunday. I remember when I did it before, I did take those cheat days, but I usually only had like one cheat meal. I didn't cheat like the entire day. And I'm kind of probably look at it the same way. I don't even really plan on cheating initially until I see a little bit more progress. But I think this is a good kind of start for me. I've also kind of put myself into some good patterns as far as getting to sleep a decent time. I've been setting my alarm, trying to wake up at 6 a.m. First thing in the morning, I've been reading. I've been going through a book called Manifest by Roxy. I'll have to get Nafasi, I think her last name is. So I read her first book, Manifest. Then I read her second Manifest book, which is called Manifest Deeper Dive. Those books are amazing. You go through, it just talks about how to, kind of bring things into your life by the way you kind of interact with the universe, essentially. It's good, just uplifting, good read, good thing to start my day with. I journal after I do that, so I've kind of put that into place. And then also what I have been doing is I did the Bill Phillips book, kind of mixed in to just kind of get myself on track and get myself going with that. I finished those two books, so actually I started to read this Answers from the Heart that I've been sitting on my shelf forever. I think it's a good book to go. It's Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Buddhist monk, and it goes through some pretty cool questions. The first question, chapter 1, is like kind of just really one of the things that I deal with all the time. I do not know what to do with my life. I am pulled in so many different directions, but I can never stick with any one thing. I am always unhappy and confused. What can help? So that was like a good start to this. I think it'll be a great like thing. I could read a couple of the questions and answers every morning, journal, and keep going with that. I'll probably put another book in there. I try to do the morning books are like inspirational, self-help kind of things is what I'm kind of trying to put into place. And then I'm also reading, pleasure reading in the evenings a lot more. I've read more than I've ever read this year. So I'm like, I think I'm 8 books in since January. So for me, that's a ton. I think I usually read like one every 3 years. So I was never really big into it, but now it's cool to chill and just read and kind of take your mind off of the day to day. So I've been kind of doing that. If I didn't say it, I'm reading something called The Names. Author, I'm not 100% sure. I could probably put it down below when I update this video and upload it. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm going to try and do these vlogs a little bit just to kind of document my journey. Current weight yesterday was 236. I just did a run. I think I was just on the high side yesterday. Probably also I got on the scale at the end of the day instead of the beginning. This morning I got on the scale after my run. I just did 2.5 miles. And after the run I'm 231. So that's kind of my starting point with this. Hopefully we see some good progress. I'm just going to try and stay consistent, try and do this to keep myself accountable, and we'll see how it goes. I hope everybody joins me on this. I'm going to try and add some extra stuff in on this channel. I'll kind of bring the channel back to life. So if you're in, welcome. If you're bored with me, just unsubscribe. But do whatever you want to do. I will be back, and have a wonderful day. Bye.